Hey guys, Jose Duarte here. So, before we get started in today's video, I want to share you guys what I experienced these past 2 weeks. So, as you guys may know, on the reserve component, you have to drill 1 weekend out of the month and 2 weeks out of the summer. Now, it may change here and there, but what it is required is at least 1 weekend out of the month and 2 weeks out of the summer. So these past 2 weeks, I had the opportunity to do my annual training. That's what the 2 weeks out of the summer is called, annual training, AT. I had the opportunity to fly out to North Carolina, out there at Camp Lejeune. And let me tell you, it was a really nice experience. It was really green compared to how it is in Vegas, out here on the West Coast. Very green. There's a lot of nature out there. There's a bunch of trees. I mean, it's really nice. I mean, if you had the chance to go to Fort Leonard Wood, it's sort of like that, but it's more trees out there in that base. So I had a nice experience out there to seeing something that I never planned on going out there. And from what I heard is like from other people that are in the reserve unit that I am in, they never had the opportunity to fly out there. Like it was like the first time to actually fly out somewhere in the United States across the country. So it was a pretty nice experience for my first AT. And you know, if you ever are thinking of planning the reserve unit and you know, just sort of like that career, this video is going to be for you. I mean, this video is going to be about pros and cons about being in the reserves and just a little something that I learned throughout the way. So as always, before we get started, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe to my channel, share this video out there for the, you know, you never know, there's going to be someone out there who may have the same questions or who's even a little bit interested on joining the military, especially the reserve component. So let's get started. So on the pros, I'm gonna get started out with the pros because you know, it's always an exciting thing to know. So the first thing I wrote is long hours and work ethic. So the first two is pretty much going to be the same throughout the whole military, because in every branch you're always going to have long hours. And I put work ethic because in the military you're going to work long hours. You're going to, you know, even in boot camp, you're going to go from waking up at 6:06 or 07, whatever the time may be, all the way up to 1900 or 2000, or I believe it's 2100. You know, that's about the time they put you to sleep. So you're constantly going to be working, and it's going to be long hours. I mean, 12-hour shifts, 13-hour shifts. It may be longer. I mean, if you're out there in the field, it's like 24/7, because even when you're in the field, you may have fire watch or you have to stand on post, and it could be from 2 to 4 hours to stay on post. So I wrote that as a con because, I wrote that as a pro because you know how it can like make you want to work more, and how it could like eventually put out that mindset in the workforce. You know, if you're gonna be working, say in the construction, or say you're gonna be working in sales, whatever it may be, you're already used to working long hours. I mean, if your boss asks you to work overtime, you're always gonna say, hopefully you do say yes hopefully you do say yes when it's necessary, or when you need to. But you know, if there's days that you're gonna have work 12 hours, it's not gonna bother you compared to other people who doesn't have that work ethic or who hasn't been through that situation. So you always have an advantage over other people. So another thing I wrote down is diversity. Diversity, I wrote that down because in the military, you're gonna meet different people from different lifestyles, different life conditions, whatever the case may be. You're gonna meet people that have college education, people that have street smarts, people that know how to work with mechanics or with weapons or whatever the case may be. There's gonna be people all over the freaking country, or people that you may didn't even know who existed, but they're just there, you know. So there's gonna be a lot of diversity there, and it's pretty cool because, you know, if there's somebody smarter than you, that you can learn from them, or if there's somebody who's pretty dumb, you know, you learn not to be like them. But sometimes, you know, like there's gonna be funny people there too. You know, it's a pro because you just meet a lot of people, and actually, like, something that they teach us right there in my reserve unit is like the military could be the best network for you, because you're always gonna meet a lot of people from different backgrounds and different educational levels. So it could be a good big network for you, and you know, since you're in the reserve, you could actually like meet somebody who has a job, and maybe you want to get a job right there where he works, and he could get you in because you know them. So that's another good thing about joining the reserves. Another thing I wrote down is a plus for me, is you can make more money on your civilian job than you do in the military. And yes, it could be, you know, like compared to like working at McDonald's. If you work at McDonald's, you could win like pretty much almost the same thing. But since I'm in the reserves, I had the opportunity to stay in my civilian job, and I'm a truck driver by trade, so I earn pretty good money, and you know, I'm pretty blessed to have that job that actually let me stay in the job while I was in boot camp and while I was doing my training. So that's a plus. From being there in the reserves, you get to stay in your civilian job, and you know, whenever the weekend comes, you have to drill. That's all you do, and then you get back to working, earning more money than the usual military. Other thing I wrote down as a pro is military discount. I mean, who doesn't love military discount? It's not much. I mean, some stores could offer more than 10%, but usually in every store I go to, they offer 10%. Or if you go to the movie theaters, they offer like $5 tickets. So I like it. I don't usually use it a lot because, I mean, if it's just 10%, then it's nothing. But whenever I go to the movies, I use it. Yeah, they may say like, oh, if you're active duty, this and that, but they never question you. And plus, like, you are military, so why not use it? You know, even if it says active duty, like, all you gotta do is show them your ID. It doesn't say your reserves are active. They're gonna respect that. So, you know, use your military discount. You know, don't be ashamed to use it. I mean, you're serving your country, and it's just a little bit of gratitude that the stores have to offer for those military members. And the last pro I could think of is you have access to any, I don't know if any base, but you have access to your local base. So for me, since I'm in Vegas, my local base is in Nellis Air Force Base, and because it's an Air Force base, like, I get to go to the gym there. And as you know, like, Air Force Base has like the best equipment, and I would agree to that because when I go to the gym there, I mean, it's free because it's in the base. All I gotta do is show my ID in the gate, they let me in. I like going there because it's big. They have all the equipment, and it never gets full. And if it gets full, it's pretty rare, but I like working out there, and it's just pretty awesome. I get to go to the PX, no taxes on the PX. I rarely shop there because they don't have that much this stuff there, but whenever I want to like buy protein or like anything like that, they don't charge any taxes. Especially like if you try to buy a weapon in the PX, only military members can buy it. But hey, it's a plus because you don't pay taxes. So hey, that's a good thing, right? So starting with the cons, I didn't really have much, but there's gonna be cons about being in the reserves. So my first con would be you get limited training on your MOS. I mean, just like I said on my annual training, it was 2 weeks. I mean, us as a Mortar T, I mean, I'm in Mortar T, we didn't really like use our trucks much. I mean, there's other people that did, but where I was, I didn't really use it that much. I mean, it is what it is, but I actually enjoyed the training because when we didn't use our trucks, we got to do like other stuff. But yeah, the thing that sucks is that, you know, when you go drill every weekend, you're not in the field. All you do is check up on the trucks or pour it in. And it kind of sucks because you want to like do Marine Corps stuff and you want to like get down to it, get your hands dirty, but it's a reserves, man. Like, you're not gonna get that much training. You're gonna get classes though, and like learn about your MOS, what it like when it gets to like in-depth stuff. But when it gets to like hands-on stuff, hands-on training is really limited. So that's like the thing that sucks. Another thing is like when it comes to a drill weekend, the pay is very little. I mean, compared to your civilian job, compared to any job out there, I mean, because you're gonna work long hours. So the pay is gonna be very little. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, hey, it's the military, but in the same time, like, it's all about perspective. I mean, you're serving your country, you signed up, you signed the dotted line. You know that, you know, the military doesn't pay as much as civilians, but you know, the reason why I joined is because I wanted to serve my country and I wanted to do something better for myself and, you know, leave a legacy. So pay doesn't really matter to me. I mean, yeah, it would be pretty cool if like I got paid a little bit more, but at the same time, like, I'm serving my country, I have a good job. I mean, whenever it comes to like money situations that, you know, I didn't get paid enough, like, I have money saved always, so it really doesn't affect me. And also, like, this is a little bit like, I didn't write it down, but from what I know, insurance wise, like TRICARE is way cheaper in the military than it is like in the civilian. So, you know, it could like go half and half, you know. So like, you can take advantage of that too, like the insurance, because it's way cheaper. I can tell you that. I mean, if you're single, it's really cheap. So, yeah. So my last thing I wrote down, and like this really like kind of affects me a little bit when I come back from like field exercise, is like the training. You know, like you have that mentality of like doing Marine Corps stuff or hanging out with your Marines, hanging out with your peers, whatever it may be. And you kind of miss it when you come back home. I know for me, like it takes a little bit to like getting that mind out of the field experience or like out of the military, because like you get used to it. And when you're out there for a week and when you're out there for 2 weeks, like you get used to it. And then when you come back home, like I can't talk to my wife the same way I talk to my Marines, or I can't talk to my family members the same way. So it takes like a little bit of time to get like transition from the military to, you know, your home. So that's kind of the thing that sucks because you kind of miss it. You want to do more. You want to get your hands dirty. You know, you want that field experience, driving the trucks or like learning new tactics here and there. But it is what it is. It's the reserves, and that's just something that you have to like cope up with. I mean, you can always volunteer to do like active duty stuff or like to get deployed. You can always do that, but of course, it's like very competitive. I mean, they require you to have like first class of PFT and CFT. They require a lot of stuff because I'm pretty sure there's like very little people that the Marine Corps actually wants from the reserves. So they want the best of the best from the reserve unit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's very competitive. But hey, if you want to do that, then go ahead. I mean, I know if I had the opportunity to do it, I would. But right now, I have a family to take care of, and I have other plans ahead of me that I want to do. So like that, it does interest me. But like, what I want to do is like more than what the Marine Corps could offer me. But hey, like if I ever had like the opportunity to get deployed or somewhere, like I'll do it. But that's only like if they really want me to, or like if we get activated or anything like that. So yeah, that's pretty much the pros and cons about joining the reserve component. I mean, another thing, like once you like go through training in like in your schoolhouse, you get to see a little bit what happens in active duty. But like, you know, we don't have fire watch or like we don't have duty to do during the weekdays or weekends. I mean, you know, that's like sort of like a pro as well. I mean, you get to see like you can kind of see like what's going on. I mean, if you're gonna enjoy the reserves or active, but like in the same time, like always plan ahead. Always do like your investigate. Always do like your research on stuff. I mean, you watching this video is already like you're already doing research. I mean, you're hearing from me from my experience of the reserves. Um, like yeah, you're gonna miss like sometimes like you're gonna meet people in your schoolhouse or even in boot camp, and some of the people you meet they're pretty cool. Like yeah, they're cool. They're gonna go away to active duty, some to reserves, and you know like you're gonna be back at home. You're not gonna be hanging out with them anymore. Like yeah, I have some people and my friends that like I have on social media, but like we don't really like talk as much or like you know like it's not the same. But hey, it is what it is. You know, there's always your friends back home, or even if you have friends. But you know, anyways, I have my family. That's all I need, and I'm really happy for it. So again, that concludes this video. If you find any value to this video, I mean, give it a like, share this video out there for any people who may be interested or who aren't, but like still have any questions. You know, give it a share. I mean, subscribe to my channel as well. I've been noticing a lot of people are like subscribing and giving likes to my video, and I really thank you for it. I mean, that gives me more like motivation to make more content. And I mean, I have many like ideas of what I want to do these next few weeks. So, you know, stay tuned to more videos coming up. And hey, thank you for watching. And as always, keep your head up, stay motivated, and keep moving forward. Deuces.